Here I'm going to switch turnout 431 and watch the dwarf signals change. So I'm going to show you how I made these and the method I'm using to implement them. Coming up next. So welcome back to Mike's Deep Run Railroad. In case you did not see my previous video controlling your yard signals, describing the software and electrical connections and interface for controlling these dwarf signals, you need to be a good idea to look at that as a refresher or first time to get the concept. But in a nutshell, what these little circuits do, these are WS2811s. They allow you to address individual LEDs, that is to give them an address. And with Hans Tanner's Blue Hat and his web interface, you can use DCC turnout commands over LocoNet and JMRI to address the green and red aspects on these dwarf signals to correspond with the position of your turnout. So like in the introduction, I showed the two dwarfs that were protecting the throat of the switch, and when I threw the switch, the reds and the greens reversed, indicating that the switch had thrown to the green dwarf away from the previous green dwarf. And that's really cool, I think, because what it'll do is it'll allow me to view switch positions via the dwarf and not have to hover over a turnout to see if it's been thrown or not. The dwarfs that I built are from Eve Model, and Eve Model sells on the Amazon, and you get 10 sets that include a signal head, 2 LEDs, a red and a green, a resistor, and when you put those parts together, you get something that looks like this on the back and like that on the front. I 3D printed up these two pieces, a base, in order to, and a base and a back. And this is what the signal looks like assembled. Looks pretty good. I use a JST connector to fit out the signal so that if I ever have to replace them, I can just disconnect this connector from beneath the layout and replace the assembly. The base was designed so that I could drill a hole in the layout board and fit the connector through it and then cover up the hole in the baseboard. So that's pretty straightforward. I got the WS 2811s from Alibaba. Took a couple of weeks to get here, but they were like $4 for 100 of them. So it was well worth the price. So what I've got invested here is $1 for the signal head, 40 cents for the chip, and I don't know, probably about another 40 cents for the pigtail. You get 20 pigtail pairs for $8, 40 cents. So about $2 per dwarf. And then I got some 3 conductor 24 gauge. No, I think this is 22 gauge wire to bring it back to the control panel. So let me show you the control panel. So I've got 28 dwarfs on this end of the Acca yard, and it's protecting the throats of 14 switches or turnouts. And they all have, each dwarf has one of those cables running back to it, to this control panel. So that makes for 28 cable runs. Those cable runs come into this base unit. I 3D printed a cable management block that puts a strain relief on each cable leaving this module, and they all go around the hinge there of the module. Now on the front here are I've got 29 WS2811s, all connected, and this was quite the soldering task, so get comfortable if you're planning to do it. Each chip has an LED connection. It's capable of controlling 3 LEDs. It has a plus and a minus 5 volts and a addressing or data in, data out cable. So these are all bussed together, 1, 2, and 3, and those control the 28 dwarfs. Nice little friction fit there. And this is the M5 module. It's the computer module that Hans Tanner, IOTT of Toy Trains, designed the software to run on. And this is his Blue Hat, which is built specifically to control the WS2811 LED addressable chips. And you just use a web page to configure it all, and I covered that in my other video. So to repeat what happens here is when you command the switch. I'm going to have to back the loco up here. Don't want to throw the switch under the chassis car. The switch is 431, and I'm throwing it from my handheld command. So now, if the train was running this way, this dwarf would indicate that the next switch is aligned properly for that operation. It's a little bit out of the rotation, but you get the idea. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.